Greetings, everyone. A very happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you for joining me on this cooking episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and as you can see, I've got all my little helpers in the kitchen with me today. There's the boys on the stool, and I got the little girl, my other little boy down there. So yeah, a lot of support in the kitchen. Of course, I've already mopped and vacuumed and cleaned everything up. Counters. Got to make sure we're all hair free. When you've got a menagerie in the house, that's the first thing you have to do. So I'm gonna. Y'all know last couple of years, I've done the turduckens that they make up at the store here for the boneless turkey stuffed with the boneless chicken stuffed with the duck breast, and then Cajun sausage or Italian sausage, whatever you want, stuck in with that. They even do it with a seafood shrimp stuffing if you want that. But that just doesn't seem fish. That seems a little fishy with the birds. Just doesn't seem like a good mix to me. It may be, but this year is a little different because I haven't done it in a while. A regular roasted turkey. So I was debating on getting another turducken just because they're so good. But they had a special on at the store where if you bought Smithfield or Hormel spiral cut ham, they would throw in the nice premium butterball turkey. So we went ahead and went with the ham for Christmas now, and we'll have a butterball turkey for Thanksgiving. But and again, that's a nice spiral cut. It's got the glaze you mix up in it there, and it's a good ham. I've had these before, so they're pretty tasty. But yeah, back in the day, you had to go to the spiral cut ham store when these things first came out. You couldn't buy them at the store. They never had that stuff out. But like everything else over the years, they become available. So yeah, and it is a pretty good one. So, but what we're gonna do with our turkey here is do a little. We're gonna do a little brining, a dry brine on this. I would do a smoked turkey on the grill this year because I do that every few years, but y'all have seen my grill is basically held together with foil now. I just man, I love the Brinkman grills that I've been using for so many years, and they don't make them anymore. So like I said, I get an unhealthy attachment to inanimate objects, and it is on its last legs for sure. I'm gonna have to just get another, like a regular kettle grill or something like that. Usually you got your little pack of giblet stuff. There you go. That's your heart, your liver, your heart, liver, and gizzard. So we'll put that with the neck, and that will be saved for the gravy, the giblet gravy. And then some people save the tail for yeah, no, that is not a nut sack. That is the tail. I was watching a video on somebody cooking this, and as that flopped out, they're going, "Man, is that the nut sack?" It's like, these guys, surely they're joking, right? You're making a chef video on cooking turkey. You don't know what a turkey tail looks like, but got little helpers under my feet. Yeah. Yeah, that's my old towel that's on the floor. They pulled down and been playing with. I haven't picked up yet. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move him over here again. Shake him out. Of course, it doesn't do much good to wash your hands and turn around, and pick him back up again. We've got that all pretty well dried off there. Wipe up the bottom so it's not wet on the underside. But yeah, the old grill just does not have the it will not support the weight of a turkey on the grill anymore. It barely handles my steaks my big steaks that I put on there. So yeah, we are going to do this one in the traditional roasting method. But the point of the brining was to it pulls the moisture out of the turkey and then kind of absorbs it back in. So it makes it a very juicy, much juicier bird, and it helps in the cooking of it. So what first thing we want to do is dry it off. You want your bird patted dry inside and out. And we're going to use what we use is, don't touch it with my turkey hands here. We use our kosher salt because it's a larger granule salt. It won't impart so much saltiness flavor. Hey, get back! Watch out! You're under my feet. Move on the turkey like you would with table salt, and so you want to use a tablespoon per 4 pounds of turkey. So we're gonna do. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right? I got 14, 12, 40. Yeah. Like I said, a little 3.5 to 4 tablespoons of kosher salt. And then we're going to see they are always right under my feet. Watch out, baby pie. Watch out, my little sweet pie. So, and again, you want to hit it all over the surface. Get the wings covered good, the legs. The inside as well. And you may think, man, that's a lot of salt going on there. It's going to make it salty, but it is not. It really doesn't work that way on this stuff, surprisingly. When I would brine it, a couple of times that I'd brine it in the liquid, and it did. I actually did seem to have, I could detect it. It had a saltiness to it that was not usually in your turkey. But doing it this way, the times I've done it like this, it's a different result, as far as it does not make it like it's overly salty. This is Wednesday. We're doing this. It's going to sit in the refrigerator overnight, uncovered, and then tomorrow, before I put it in the oven, I will make up an injection solution to put in it, which in this case this year is going to be just some butter, real butter melted down, and some beer, and maybe a little bit of cayenne pepper. But I really not want to add much flavor, any more additional flavoring to it, like a lot of garlic and onion powder and stuff that you normally would put in like when you're deep frying your turkeys. We'd always do the bottle of Italian dressing, can of beer, all the garlic, onion powder, and cayenne, and oil, and then you'd run it through the blender, and then you'd strain it and inject that. But that's imparting a lot of flavor into it. This, we're just wanting to get the natural flavor of the turkey and just enhance it a little bit, keep it moist with the injection on it. So hence the just basically butter and beer. And then we will tuck our legs in like that. And for your wings, you want to bend those tips back, and that way it keeps it from flailing out. Especially the legs would be all spread out, and if you cook them without the the tuck. Sometimes they use the twine and tie them together, but I usually find that the skin right there holds it together pretty well. So now that is going to go in the oven. I mean, go in the oven. Going to go in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and it'll discolor it. It's gonna dry it up. It's gonna give it a little. It's gonna look like it's a little browned, and that's exactly what we want to see. So let me make sure I got room to. Oh yeah, I just pulled it out, so I do have room for the bird ready to go. So yeah, I'm gonna slide it in there uncovered, just like that, and I'm gonna put our giblets in a bowl, clean up our salt everywhere, and we'll be back in a minute. A minute for you. Well, every year I usually make a pecan pie, but we're doing one different this year. This was one of my mom's favorite pies that she used to make. So we thought it just for something different, and it was always actually it was a good summer pie to make because it was so cool, but the dang good pie. You start with a stick of butter. You add a cup and a half of sugar. I'm going to get to try out work on my new mixer that I got this year. So add 3 eggs. Two tablespoons of flour. A teaspoon of vanilla, Adam's Best. A cup. Oh my God. Oh my God. Looking at the kids' Christmas list again? They put them in binders to see it. 1 cup of the crushed pineapple. I mean, shredded coconut. And then 1 cup. You can actually use the small can. No, this isn't cat food. This is not your cat food. I burned up my mixer last year. I forgot I didn't have one. So I started to make something the other night, and I realized, damn, I don't have a mixer. So I went and got this yesterday because I'm going to have to whip some potatoes for Thanksgiving dinner. You can see how the shredded coconut hangs on to the beaters. So all right, you want to keep this stuff stirred up, mixed together well, and then we pour it into 2 regular pie crusts. There's not enough to fill up the 2 deep dishes, so you want to use the regular size. And then they go in our 350-degree oven. 35 minutes. All right, let's see how we look here. I'd say I think we're pretty good. Well, we interrupt this Thanksgiving Day cooking session for a quick mail call. Since it is a gold channel, we should talk about some gold while this Thanksgiving Day proceeds. And I had a surprise package come in from he's also a viewer, has a channel, and has gotten some pay dirt from me in the past. And it is from Swamp Dog, Mr. Nathan, and he's up there in Idaho. So he sent me some Idaho garnets, some gnome sea glass. Be well, my friend. A little homemade dirt, small cons, and heavy sands. And enjoy, my friend. It's a little note on the bag. Very cool. Like I said, it was a big surprise. I'd ordered something else that I was waiting to come in, and I thought that's what it was. I didn't really even get a look at it. I was walking Gizmo at night. I just checked the mailbox. They came late, so I, put it in the kitchen, and it went until later on, and I looked at it and saw. But yeah, so he sent me a couple of his, and this is great because these will actually I still have room for these on my board. So that's very cool. And first off, you can see here's that sea glass. And I've thought about, I'd seen this on YouTube about the guys that do the stones. Move down so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this stuff at the desk here when I want to. It's a rather drizzly, cool day here at the Bayou from Thanksgiving. It was actually been down in the 50s, so it kind of gave it a nice kind of holiday wintry feel from like you used to have back in Texas, whenever not the usual 70-degree end of November days. But yeah, so like I said, that is that natural sea glass where the sand puts on a patina on it or something that just wears it down. It's hard to duplicate that in with a tumbler. And then there's another piece. So very cool. So yeah, I was really, and the greens. I think the greens and the blues are definitely some of the prettiest. But then again, that's your brown that's been worn down. So, and then the white, I guess that was from clear when it gets the frosting like that on it and turns it. But it gives it that frosted glass appearance. But that's just from wave action over years of time, because you can see that one has started to get rubbed down, but compared to, I'm pretty sure that's the same glass as probably this one. When I hold them up through to the light, you can see the same amber kind of color on them, but this one's only been in there for a short time and it's worn down dull, as opposed to this one that's frosted. So very cool stuff. And Swamp Dog, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. And then these are, what does that one say here? Uncleaned Idaho garnets. Yeah. So these are some that are still in the dirt. And that's very cool. I haven't gotten anything like that. So that'll be a cool thing to kind of pan through and clean out. And they're fine garnets. So that'll be some challenge to get those out. And then at the same time, there's still another little piece of our glass. And then there's a few more, another nice, very cool green and amber. Look at that big green piece there. And like I said, it's just got that very cool frosted, almost like I said, a patina to it. And that's your probably your standard just amber regular beer bottles, but it turns it into these very cool pieces of art that nature does. What are you doing? Can I help you? Shadow's I'm surprised I don't have one sitting in my lap right now, as is normal. Oh, the boy. But and then there's the bag he sent me of some clean, and like I said, those are some fine garnets. So those would be really good to add into pay dirt vials, or not, the display vials with my big garnets for filling in. And then here is the bag that he said of some cons, and it might be a little bit of gold found in there. He said so, but it's got some cool stones showing up in that as well. Again, this is gonna depend on how well I can zoom in on this stuff when I'm editing this out to get a video on this. Like I said, instead of being by the other side of the camera and shooting it and adjusting it as I go. So very nice. We've got a little clean bag of garnets, a big bag of garnets to go through, as well as some pay dirt. And I bet you I would be surprised there's some garnets in there as well. So, and then the next thing that just came in today, since we're doing this out of sequence because this is Black Friday. So yes, I'm a time traveler in this video. We're still in the middle of Thanksgiving Day cooking, but this is the Miskimo Suns, which is Mississippi Eskimo Suns, and it is the bipolar pay dirt. It's their sample bag, and I think it was like $25. I'll make sure I have it on there whenever I do the video on it from from Thomas Owens, and Columbus, Mississippi. Right now, they also have. I'm hoping to maybe get some next week. They've got the 3 gram bag of his. Again, their stuff they sell with Miskimasons is 21 karat up there at that Arctic Circle Tundra Gold, the blue tundras, and they've got a bag that they're offering right now at the 3 gram for I think $200, maybe 200 and change, shipped. A very good price for some very cool. I said that 21 karat gold is beautiful. I've done a couple of their tundra bags, so this came up. Wanted to give that a try because again with Lynch and Miners Depot gone, it's hard to find a company like Miners Depot. You could never beat for a $20 bag, and you'd get a half a gram of gold for 0.45 tenths of a gram of gold. But again, this is $25 shipped. So I believe that's what it was. I'll verify it. But again, their bags, $72 for their bag of 1 gram gold shipped. Real good prices on their stuff for that premium, that beautiful gold. And like I said, I'm a big fan of the Miskimasons for sure. So, but just to be aware, and then they've got it's a tribute bag to, I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, I believe it's their daughter. But that's a very good bag to get. They got a good deal on that. I think they still had some of those available. This is a Mardi Gras throw, and I found it in a box, and it's years old. And when you bang on it, it lights it up. I don't know how many years this thing is. At least 5 years. And the cats got to it. I saw, what the hell is that flashing over in the corner? I saw it glinting off the floor. I thought it was something from outside. And they go, wait, where the hell is that coming from? It turns out that this is it's the Mardi Gras. They got it up. So there's my little monkey, and she's our runt. And speaking of runts, yes, Gizmo, you want to say he does not speak except unless somebody bangs at the door. But you want to say Happy Thanksgiving? Huh? Happy Thanksgiving. So that's Yeah, it's actually today. My buddy came to the door and knocked on it. I didn't even know, didn't even hear the door knocking, and he's ranting, and I go, "Brr, brr, brr, brr." So I go up there, and as soon as I open the door for him, I didn't notice he was behind me. He bolted out the damn door, which he never does that. And so I had to jump in the van and chase him down the street again. I'm going tomorrow to get him his tag and collar that he's going to be permanently wearing, but with my name on it and the phone number. But yeah, he got down the street about a block down, not before the next street. But if he hadn't run to the corner of the yard and went to do his business for some reason, I had just finished walking him for like 10 minutes, and at least, and because I've been feeding him, both of the him and the kitties all got nice Thanksgiving and a little Thanksgiving breakfast this morning too. So we got plenty of turkey, so they're getting fresh turkey on their dinners, aren't you? But yeah, so I was able to run over there and pick him up, but he just does not listen and take off. So yeah, I was lucky that he did not feel like bolting any farther than he did today. But it was kind of drizzly, and maybe I don't know, maybe he wasn't. It'd been a pretty day. He'd have kept going. But all right, well, let us get back to the dinner at hand. Had baked the pie. I started baking the pie before the turkey on Thanksgiving morning, so I'd have that out of the way because I knew the turkey's going to be in there for a while, and then the green bean casserole and all that. So the yeah, that was turned out to be some good pie. That dang good pie is a dang good recipe. So check that out if y'all want to try something that's very coconut pineapple, but it's got a custardy quality to it. Like I said, it's a great summer pie because you chill it. It's whipped cream on it. It's a very cool dessert to have, but it's also very kind of a holiday type with the fruits and the coconut and stuff on it. So, all right. Thank you again so much, Swamp Dog, for the awesome stuff you sent. I appreciate it, brother. When again, we'll look forward to checking out the bipolar. And again, if y'all if you want to if you want to try a hot pepper, I'm oh damn it, that's gonna be noise on my banging on my mic. But what did I do? But yeah, you can email me and I'll send you one of those. Again, I was shocked at how hot that damn pepper was the other day. I was gonna include that as part of this video, but I think it's gonna be too long to have be choking on the peppers. So I don't know, I might do it in a short or something to post an abbreviated version of it. But all right, well, let's get back to the Thanksgiving Day at hand. I hope everyone is having and did have a wonderful day and are having a great Thanksgiving weekend. And I get sure a lot of people are out getting their Christmas trees. It's so early in the season now. I'll go probably get mine at the end of next week before they run out because last year that's what the last couple of years they had a shortage of them. So last year there were quite a few. I still bought it the day after Thanksgiving, but it was at the end of the month for Thanksgiving. So and as long as we're not having those 80-degree days where they dry out and burn them, you get them where they're browned from the sun hitting them throughout the day, and they have to keep turning them, but the sun's moving. They can't spin them enough to keep them from drying up when it's 80 degrees, or 85 degrees. Some years almost 90 that they had when the trees were out there on the lot. So, all right, once again, thank you. Well, there we have 24 hours of our dry brine turkey, and you can see it is a little discolored there. It's dried up. No salt is showing around. There's a little bit in the pan there still, but so now the next step we're going to do is we've got our butter softened up here, and we're just going to basically, best thing to do this is with your hands and just rub the whole bird down with some real butter. Get it in everywhere. We'll tuck that back when we're done. I have decided to forego the injection. Like I said, I normally do that on just about all the birds I do, but we're just going with the traditional this year. So we're gonna finish off with some fresh ground black pepper. We've already got our salt was on it from the our salt was on it from the brine, so we don't need that. I don't want to put any garlic or anything else like that. We're gonna add to our bird. We need got some purple onion that's gonna go in there. Some lemon. And some fresh rosemary, just to give us some aromatics in that cavity. Get that all back in there good. This is going to go in the oven at 450 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then it will be pulled out, and we'll cover it with some foil, and then cook it at about 13 minutes a pound for 14.5 pounds. That'll be about 3 hours, and we'll test it. We're going to want that breast meat at 160 degrees. Oh, that's a big solid bird there. Make sure that's all stuffed in there. I was going to put one of these racks in the underneath it, but it just really doesn't fit in the pan that well, and I don't want to punch it through because the legs of it would, that's thin foil. That's not even if it was doubled up, it still wouldn't take it. So we're going to, like I said, I've got it sitting on a cookie sheet underneath. And I think we are ready to roll. We're going to put in a couple of cups of wine. Just some regular classic Gallo family white wine. Cheers to you all for the happy Thanksgiving. And we're going to add some chicken stock. Yeah, there we go. Chickens showed the wrong side. Some Swanson chicken stock to that. Make sure we have plenty of moisture in here for it. And then we'll be watching that as we cook it to make sure. We're going to go ahead and throw in some of these baby carrots for good measure. This may be too early to be too long for them to cook in this. By the time they're done, we're not going to be stirring them up too much, so hopefully they'll hold together. And then we're going to, of course, we'll have our mashed potatoes, our creamed potatoes, and green bean casserole and all the classics, that stuff. We got the rack out. I got the oven back up to temperature, 450 degrees. Let's try this again. Slide that in. There we go. That's what we're looking for right there. That's looking good. We'll set our timer for 30 minutes. There's my one of my little precious babies right there waiting for hers. Of course, my boy, he's gonna get him some Thanksgiving dinner too, and I got him everywhere. So happy Thanksgiving. Down to 350. And like I said, this oven has been kind of jukey on me. Oh, I forgot to tuck my legs. Let me see here. Hold on. All right. Well, I came up with some sewing twine. All right. Well, we'll see how that works for us. But yeah, Getting nice and browned. All right, well, made us a little foil. Yeah. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but they say that foil is directly related to Alzheimer's and mental degradation from toxicity of the aluminum contacting your food, and it's recommended not to use. Of course, we're in a big aluminum pan right here, but not to use aluminum foil to wrap or store or cook food, because it's because of its toxicity. So I don't know. It's I don't line stuff with it as much as, try not to use it as much anymore. But we've added our giblets, and like I said, I'm just hoping that my oven temperature is going to hold, because this thing has gotten a little jukey over the last few months, and a couple of times where it would be at temperature and then it would drop down. Even like making frozen French fries, throw them in there, and then 10 minutes goes by, I open it up to flip them, and they're barely thawed. So I'm hoping it's not going to do this on our turkey today. So we'll the last 45 minutes or so, we'll take the foil off and have it let it finish browning. So now it's time to start peeling some potatoes. I'm gonna have the green bean casserole there and some corn for to go with this. The turkey's gonna cook for 3 hours, and then basically it'll pull it out. They say you want to let it sit and reabsorb those juices for as long as the time you've cooked it. That's what Chef Ramsay says. Mostly though, it's most people say at least an hour to let it reabsorb all those juices. So I hope everyone is having a very happy Thanksgiving Day, and we'll be back. Well, there we go. We have a pretty nicely golden browned turkey. Actually, it came out at about 175, a little higher than I wanted it on the breast meat on the temperature, but I think we're gonna be okay. It sure smells good. So we're gonna drain it, set this on another plate, and let it stand for about an hour. And I'll halftime just got here. Cowboys whipping ass on some Redskins, traditional rivalry, great for a Thanksgiving Day game. And yeah, we're gonna get down that. I'm ready to have that drumstick right now, I'll tell you that. All right, I'm gonna tip this while it rests, but before I do that, we want to get out our goodies here. You can definitely smell that rosemary while this was cooking, and that sweet onion. Pretty tasty. So get my thread off, and we're ready to go here. We're gonna let it sit for, like I said, for at least an hour while I make everything else. Dump out this pan here for our drippings. That tastes real good with that stock and that the stock and the white wine. So yeah, we're gonna get to work on that. So we're mixing up the green bean casserole to go in the oven. A classic now. We never had this when I was a kid. I like to put a little bit of extra pepper there. It calls for an eighth of a teaspoon is just not enough. But it was my buddy that had come down from Ohio that made it the first time, and it was used. Excuse me. Used Funyuns instead of French's crispy fried onions there, which these are the best fried onions. I've tried other brands, I think, and store brands, and these are just these are definitely the best. And you also want to add extra those that are besides what the recipe calls for. So there we go, and we go ahead and just dump that into our pan. 350 degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And you want to sprinkle some of those onions on top of it on the last 10 minutes of cooking. Give them a nice toasty crispy, and yeah, this is stuff that I'll bag up and freeze and have it a few times later on, you know, the next couple of months as a side dish, because I don't eat all of this. I'm focusing on getting that turkey done for the next 4 days. 14 pounds of bird there to deal with. So there we go. That's on its way in. Get those taters going. All right, we've got our potatoes boiled. Just watched the Cowboys set a new NFL record. Deron Bland, 5 pick sixes in one season. He's still got games left to go, but they scored on that touchdown and grabbed the turkey legs, so I had to do the same. And man, I'll tell you what, that is some tasty turkey right there, my friends. I'm gonna add some cream, condensed milk to it. Real butter in there. At this point, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of our kosher salt from the turkey that we have now. And a good dash of black pepper. Sometimes I'll hit just a hint of garlic powder in it, but we're just going with the traditional mash tonight. All right, let's see how that's looking. Needs more salt for sure. Has a nice buttery taste though for sure. And we got a little more, can use a little more creaminess. All right, I think that's going to get us there. Well, it was definitely a fun Thanksgiving afternoon watching the Cowboys destroy one of our classic rivals, the Washington Redskins. Yeah, I know they call it something else, but we don't care. Nobody calls them that except for the libtards that forced them to bend knee and change it when nobody cared. Actually, the indigenous peoples, the Indians didn't want them to change it. They had no problem with it, just like they have no problem with the Chiefs or the Braves or anything else. It's taken as a compliment to the, they don't name teams after weak, pathetic, mascots. They, usually it's wanting to, project strength and, but the libtards just don't get anything. And there we go. Perfect. And it is time to pull our green casserole. We topped it with our onions, so they brown on there. So that's done. I think put in a few rolls in there, and it's going to be time for Thanksgiving. All right, we are at the carving stage here. I have already, as you saw, got a little taste off that other drumstick, and actually I ate it. It was very good. Cut this the rest of the way around here. That is still very, you can see just how juicy. Oh, I cut a little high on that thigh bone. Here we have, that skin is nice and crispy. Beautiful leg and a thigh there. For this one, we are going, instead of the traditional slicing the breast up the middle and doing the slices off, thin slices like that,
We're going to make it easy on us this year. Whew, man, that is still hot. And it's been resting for, well, I watched the rest of the Cowboy game while I was doing the rest of this, so it's been resting for over 2 hours. And man, that is still steamy. But look at that. Look at that. Very succulent. Mmm. Man, that is delicious. Now we can take our you see how that skin hangs on there nice, because it's not mushy, it's crispy. And cut us out some nice slices of that. That's going to be a good turkey sandwich here at about midnight. Or maybe for lunch tomorrow before I'll be eating turkey for the next few days. I'll probably be a little full for it by midnight tonight. But there we go. And you can see it is juicy and moist all the way through. So our brining did a great job. And you can get that little bit of extra. I think it gives you that little bit of extra leeway on, I love the wings too there. On cooking it, since we were a few degrees hotter than we were wanting it when we pulled it out. But that's all right. So there we go. And then of course we'll go through there, your wishbone's back down in there right there. Mmm, man, that is delicious. Really glad I didn't inject anything in it this year, just that natural turkey flavor. Very good. Like I said, it's been a while since I roasted a turkey. And even longer since I roasted one where I didn't inject it or do something to it. So that is all natural this year. And we're going to get a plate set. Got our gravy. Our gravy's good to go here. It's got a little, it looks like we might have a little bit of extra butter layer on top of there from that off the turkey, but that's all right. Our mashed potatoes are good to go. We've got our rolls are baked. They need to be buttered. Let's go. Well, it's been a long day, but we have got our Thanksgiving platter ready to go there. So thank you all for hanging out today with me, and I enjoyed the company as I was putting this together. Like I said, I went over and took some pie to my neighbor. She invited me over there this morning. I told her, I've got way too much going on. I appreciate it. And Cowboys won big. We'll see if Dak can carry us through. It's been the problem, man. He just doesn't finish, but they're finishing good these last games. So fingers crossed, and a very happy Thanksgiving to you all, my friends. So there we have our dang good pie. Gotta try a bite of that. It's been chilled in the refrigerator for about a couple hours. Just the way I remember Mama making it. Happy Thanksgiving.